Hey guys, this is Anand, and I have 3 really nice gameplays in the M26 Pershing to share today. I know I've done the Pershing before, but it's still one of my most requested tanks because I think people struggle with it a little bit, and I can see why unless you're using it the right way. And I just had a lot of footage stocked up on it, so I decided to do it. So on Castilla, I try and pop over there, but sometimes in these low power weight ratio mediums, I hit that thing funky. And if I don't roll up on it absolutely perfect right off the bat, I like to swing around because I can still get around to it before it gets spotted. That way I'm not wasting a bunch of time in the battle. Actually, this is like my second game back from a week-long vacation of not playing at all, so I just blame it on rustiness there because that was clearly not pretty. But the game turns out okay, so I think it's worth that little bit of a problem. So I like to roll right up here in this spot when I'm on this side, especially if I have a tank with a strong turret like the Pershing does. But I guess that's one of the misconceptions too. The Pershing doesn't necessarily have a strong turret, it has an extremely strong mantlet that covers a large portion of the turret. So the side of the turret and the top can still be penned, but if you're at any range at all and moving around, it's very difficult to get a penetrating shot there. So I'm just putting this tank to work. So you can see I rolled back instantly after shooting that Ferdinand. I just know from experience that any tank that's down at the base of that hill like he was, if you roll out far enough to fire, he's going to spot you because of just the view range there, so that's why I'm careful. That Tiger 1 has got a little bit of tunnel vision going on me here while I'm just working back and forth, so I'm trying to make sure I don't stay spotted for very long, because the accuracy of the Tiger 1 is pretty nice, and he could start to whittle me down a little bit. So luckily he goes ahead and rolls out enough again so I can go ahead and put that shot into him, and now even though he's not the easiest shot there, I want to go ahead and do it because he was clearly paying a lot of attention to me, and that's not something I want since I'm essentially working in kind of a mid-range sniper role here. And my team is already clearly struggling pretty good. We lost our light right off the bat because he overflanked, and then there we lose 2 more real quickly. So we're staying in it, but we're down 1 tank right now. So I'm working on this Ferdinand because he's got himself really exposed. I missed that shot into the corner. I should have been shooting APCR, but now I'm just hanging out until I see that gun point at me. I knew I was spotted, but if he's not going to look at me, it doesn't matter. And that's just a matter of kind of staying aware and watching the gun, knowing if you can hang out or not. So once he kills that frontline spotter, I really want to make sure I can get him before he goes invisible again, because that's a pretty big gun to have in the game. It didn't necessarily look like he was running the top gun, but any tank destroyer is pretty dangerous. Especially because we're really not looking like we're in a great position here. Happy that the IS-6 has rolled forward because I was obviously bouncing a ton of shells off of him earlier. It's just such a troll tank, as I think most of us know, so it's something you have to be careful with. But if he's going to keep exposing himself like that, I'm going to go ahead and take the easy kill. But I can see right now as I roll back, I haven't been watching my team's health too much, but they're both 1-shots, 1 drops. The Tiger 2 is pushing, so I know my other one is going to fall. I'm trying to track that Tiger, but I just can't quite get the shell to go in. And now it's a 1 versus 3 situation. So I'm thinking about running, but I'm just kind of watching this Tiger, and I see he's pushing forward. He knew I was shooting from this side, so he's probably trying to push through and get a spot on me. So that's why I wait. I didn't think I'd be able to get a spot, and that's why I went and fired that blind shot that didn't go in. But luckily my view range is far enough that I was able to hang out and let him roll out. But again, like I was saying, just from experience, I know that firing at a tank in that area is going to get me spotted. And with a light and a tank destroyer left, I need to be really cautious. I haven't seen either of them in this battle, so I'm afraid they're both full health. Luckily that type pops up, and I would have been willing to eat 2 shots to get him right there if I needed to, because it's a really dangerous tank, and it's something that's really hard to track down. Now I'm assuming that J Panther is pretty healthy, because I definitely haven't seen him, and so that's why I go ahead and go this long range. I'm also kind of just thinking of the positions he's probably in that we haven't been spotting. I'm thinking he could be in the central ridge line, close to their spawn 1, or maybe all the way in the back here. I also want to keep an eye on cap, because a lot of times when there's a medium left, TDs like to run to cap just because they think they can't catch you, even though J Panther certainly can, and also with the time level. So I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it, but this tank is just not fast in general. especially for a medium, and I think that's part of the reason some people struggle with it. The whole armor's not very good, the speed's not very good. It's all about the mail-in and the gun depression, so you've got to really be working those attributes of this tank to do well in it. And honestly, for me, it's probably my go-to #1 clutch tank if I feel like if I'm helping someone with a stock tank, or I just feel like I need to clutch because I've been having some tough teams. This is the one I go to because it's really hard to defend when you play it right. So the J-Panther has rolled into cap, and after I killed that dragon is when I realized I am up for a Rossini here too, so I'm not going to mess around. I have really good hit points at this point, so I kind of feel like if I charge him, I'm going to have a good shot at it. Unfortunately, he spots me and is facing my way, but I can get a good shot on him. I'm up on him on hit points, so I'm trying to push in now. I knew I could take that one shot, and he's on adrenaline, so if I can't get around him, I'll take another one. Luckily, I get the track shot in, but he is able to do it just in time, and here's where, I thought I might have messed it up. I could have played more cautious, but I was trying to use my hit point advantage, but that thing is such a dangerous tank, and then once he got my driver, but, luckily that's why you hold on to hit points, and like I said, I was a little rusty coming into this game, but luckily had enough left in the tank to go ahead and finish off that nice Rossini. 7-kill battle, over 4,000 damage with the Koblanovs in a Pershing. That is a ton of damage.